Those two stories breaking overnight. The latest on that surprise missile launch from North Korea in just a moment. But first to Portland, Oregon, where a gunman opened fire in a mall crowded with holiday shoppers. ABC's Neil Karlinski is outside the Macy's where it all began. Good morning, Neil.
George, good morning. This is where much of the shooting happened, inside the food court here, right next to the Macy's. You know, this is a very popular mall. It was absolutely filled with holiday shoppers at the time of the shooting. A random and senseless rampage that could have been even worse. Cell phone video shows the chaos soon after the shooting. Customers, even a little girl being led out with their hands up.
Yeah, there's one person that's saying that there's a man with a rifle in the other food court and that he's still shooting people.
It was 3:20 p.m. when Christmas songs over the Clackamas Town Center sound system were suddenly drowned out by the steady, rapid fire of gunshots.
He was just moving around, pointing the gun at people, and people were just falling to the ground and crying.
There are people bailing out like crazy from everywhere.
By 3:30, police arrived, met head-on by terrified shoppers, children, and employees streaming out.
Macy's and K telling me the suspect was here. I've got multiple shell casings.
He looked like he was on a mission.
The gunman, described as wearing a black bulletproof vest and white hockey mask, is said to be moving quickly through the upper level of the mall's Macy's store, firing what looks like an assault weapon near the food court. 20-year-old Sean Wick is there eating.
I don't think anything that would happen tomorrow could be worse than what happened tonight.
By 4:30, police report finding a group of people hiding in a storeroom. In a surreal moment, even the mall Santa could be seen running for his life.
I didn't know where the shooter was, so I decided to kind of just ease my way out.
Remarkably, more bloodshed may have been prevented because the attacker's gun apparently jammed.
They fired about 10 or 15 rounds out here, and then the gun jammed on him.
By 4:49 p.m., police report the gunman has been, quote, neutralized. This morning, police say he's dead.
The shooter died of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound.
After 90 minutes of terror at 5 o'clock, SWAT teams lead more stunned survivors out of the mall. Still inside, the lifeless bodies of two innocent bystanders and the gunman. There is also one person who's been wounded, a woman who is right now listed in serious condition in a Portland area hospital. What we still don't know is who the shooter is and why he came here and what led him to such a random act of violence. George?
Thanks, Neil. And joining us now, Sheriff Craig Roberts of the Clackamas County Sheriff's Department. Sheriff, thank you for joining us this morning. Have you been able to identify the shooter overnight?
We have been able to identify the shooter over this last night.
What can you tell us about him?
We're not able to release the name of the individual at this point in time, and for the reason being that we don't want to jeopardize the investigation.
What more can you tell us about his motive?
Right now, we're still in the preliminary part of our investigation, and so there's much to learn. And so at this point in time, to speculate on the motive it's really premature at this time.
But do you have any idea if the gunman was going after specific victims, knew who he was going after, or if this was some kind of a random rampage?
It really was a killing of total strangers, to my knowledge, at this point in time, and it was really, I think, trying to kill as many people as possible.
And he would have killed far more had his gun not jammed, is that correct?
This could have been much, much worse, and we got the call at 3:29. We had somebody on scene within a minute, 30 seconds. We had containment set up with a multitude of teams. There's approximately 10,000 people, about 2,000 employees, about 7,000 customers. That we had a lot of people moving in and out, trying to take cover. We had a lot of really what I consider heroes of citizens stepping up and helping people get out of the facility. We had some actually emergency room nurses that were trying to render aid. And so throughout this whole horrific ordeal, there were just some really amazing people that stepped up, and I think this really could have been much worse.
Well, thank goodness for those heroes, but of course our thoughts are with the victims and their families this morning as well. Sheriff, thanks very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.